One of the things about working in the creative industry is that we have a whole lot of requirements, and those are, the ability to be creative. Photographers have taken beautiful images, and therefore they want to be able to display beautiful images and make selections and so on. But at the end of the day, you've got to go back in the process and be the end user's advocate or the bride and groom's advocate and say, this for them is a very important day, and what you want to be able to do is to help them re-establish their emotional connection with their images, and that therefore needs to be part of that creative process. And then the second part of it is that they're investing a lot of money in these photographs, and therefore, in the same way as a kitchen designer will give you a representation of the way the kitchen will look, or a house before they build it, and we're doing a similar sort of thing with the images. We're showing them what the book is going to look like and how the images are going to be treated and cropped and so on, and therefore that gives them a whole lot more confidence in what they're going to get before they make that commitment. And then at the other end of the spectrum, the photographer wants to know that they've sold something which they can get made, and therefore Photojunction has to honour the business rules of the supplier, in the sense that the pages are the right size and so forth, and help reduce the cost and improve the efficiency by managing that process on the way through.
I think that's a good point. I mean, very often people will say to us, I just want to use InDesign. I just want to use Photoshop to design my album.
Like in our own business, we have about 6 licenses versions of InDesign. They are important tools which have important applications for them, and if you're designing a piece of paper and you want to make it any size, that's really important. But album manufacturers don't make pieces of paper, they make books, and those books follow strict size requirements, image requirements. The photos need to be certain distances from the edge and so forth if you want to have it made right.
But we're still getting a bit boring here, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
People want to have a piece of software that is a pleasure to use, that's really cool to use, and if we haven't done that, then we haven't succeeded. What do you think are the best features then, Danny, as a piece of software?
Well, flexible is a keyword that you'll hear me use. A flexible way to browse and configure your screen, or to look at your images, or to organize your images, or to search through them. It really is.
You just love the software.
Yeah, I do. Well, yeah, I help make it.
You help make it, that's right.
There's been so much thought put into just making sure that things are as you'd expect without you having to think about it.
We've forgotten something else entirely too, and that is that what we're doing here is designing in Photojunction, but this integrates with Photoshop so that you can go through and create these actual pages for printing, but also open up and edit the images in Photoshop from within the program. You can open up Photoshop actions from within the program. It's very powerful in all those ways. 3 things here. The first is the fact that it is a great user experience, and I do believe that it's the best that's out there. The second is this pragmatic thing, that it works, it's productive, it's efficient, it knows the rules, all you've got to do is be creative. It's comprehensive, that's another thing. It deals with all of the major image processing needs that the photography studio has, from basically the point that the images come onto the computer to the point that they get output to the suppliers. And the last thing is that it integrates so closely with the suppliers.
One of the challenges of having an introduction movie to a new piece of software is that this new piece of software has got 2 audiences. One is people that have never used it before, and then there's the people who have used it in the past and want to know a little bit about what it does, which is different. And for the people that are using it at the moment, everything's changed.
But for all of you existing users out there, I'll tell you a quick story. A close friend of mine on the beta testing list, who isn't as IT savvy as some of you listening now, had quite a bit of apprehension about trying this new bit of software. Anyway, I gave absolutely no help to this person. And when they contacted me later on to tell me about the experience, they said, Danny, it was really good, but the learning curve was too long. And I said, oh, well, did you struggle with it for long? And they said, sort of, maybe an hour or 2. And I was really excited by that. The expectation that it only takes an hour or 2 to come to grips with a completely new application is a job well done, I'd say.
Yeah, I had a related conversation yesterday with another photographer, somebody that we've been working with for a long time, and in fact was one of the beta testers in the original piece of software, and we're discussing the difference between the two different beta testing events. And the first one, there was this amazing discussion between the photographers talking about the philosophy of the software and how they operated their studios and everything. And this one, that discussion was almost non-existent. And I said, well, why do you think that is? And he said, well, in the last version, you were building a piece of software and we were trying to make it what we wanted it to be. And in this one, it was all they wanted it to be.
The fact of the matter is that last time we were starting from scratch, this time we're building on the feedback from thousands of users.
I think, to close for me, one of the most exciting things is the fact that as an organisation and the people that work here is that we are all, dare I say it, IT geeks. We love the new, we love experimenting, we love making progress through using IT. Whereas the really exciting thing for us is that this is a very modern piece of software doing things in modern ways, and we are now able to respond to people's requests and new features a lot faster and more strongly than in the past.
We started writing retro, I think, roughly 7 years ago. We had one guy that had other responsibilities as well. When you think about what we've learned over that period, and then the size of the team now, and then combine that with the new platform to develop in, to create the software in, the possibilities are endless, and this is 1.0.